Hi everyone, this is your favorite friend Jay or Jaylan Salah as you formerly know her, film critic at Geek Vibes Nation and In Session Film. Today I'm pleased and actually very happy to talk to this amazing group of people who were behind one of the short films that I loved. Um, I'm talking about A Family Guide to Hunting. This is a great short that I watched and enjoyed. And I'm talking to the director, Zao Wang, and I'm talking also to two of the producers, Louise and Joyce. And I'm very happy to have you here, guys, because this film brought in a lot of thoughts to my mind. Yes, it seems like a dark comedy, but it's a family drama at heart. And this is what I liked about it, the intelligence that it brought to the table to, first of all, welcome and so happy to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having us, Jaylan.
Okay, so first I want to ask Zhao, why this particular story? Because every film has a story to tell. Why this particular story to tell?
I've always wanted to do a combination of my love for genre films with a family drama, and part of the challenge with this one that I set for myself was to talk about the kind of love that we don't really see or we haven't seen very much on screen, and it's the kind of family love that's um, I guess the starting point is that it was unique to my family, to Asian Americans, but I think I think it's also universal to a lot of people. So I wanna present the kind of love that to expand our understanding of what love could mean when it's all in all its glorious and flawed forms.
Okay, so one of the things that I really loved about this film is that the characters are unlikable. And as a non-white person, I really like it when we're not portrayed as the best people out there, just catering to white people's, like being, like more rude and more whatever. And we're like kind of monotone, like we're not human, we're robots. So what I love to hear, it's really like the mom. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
scared of your mom because I've seen her too, like in my families, in women around me. So how
right.
do you come up with
hmm
these natural, realistic characters and at the same time humanizing them and making them really relatable because these are families, these are real families.
Right. Well, I think because I being an Asian American, being an immigrant, they're just people. They're not Asian. They're not a particular kind. They're just people. They're mothers. They're fathers. They're daughters or boyfriends. So as such, I just want this film to be grounded, to be to have Asian characters who aren't the model minorities, who could be killers, who are badass. I don't know if I can say that word on the show, but don't
I think
don't
we can.
mess with this family. Yeah, don't mess with this family. And
Yes.
don't mess with Asians. I but yeah. So that's kind of where the impulse is, sort of the you know instinctual drive that you're wanting to bring this kind of family, this kind of characters on screen. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Only maybe in other people's view or the model minorities, but you know, we're
Well, I think
capable of some shit.
We are totally, I think just to echo what Zao was saying, we are a collection of multiple identities. And so, we are good and bad, but if you have these portrayals where they're always good, it's like, I feel like, look, I'm a terrible mother. I'm going to say it right here. I'm a terrible mother, right? I'm a 15-year-old.
It's
I'm
not true.
like,
That's not true.
no, my son
She's
thinks I'm a
being
terrible
modest.
mom,
She's
right?
being very modest. Her son is amazing.
That's
I'm
because
I'm a
that's
worse
because my son
father. I'm a
likes her.
worse
My son
father.
likes
Yeah.
her. But I think, when we have all these like perfect depictions, it doesn't give us permission to be, then I feel guilty. I already have enough Asian guilt, right? Like, do we need more guilt from media making me feel like I'm not good enough because I didn't fit this like perfect portrayal of model minority? So I love that Zhao was able to write and direct these characters, like create characters that can be messy and dirty and have multiple identities and be all these things, not only Asian American,
Right.
and it's that permission.
Exactly. And so I'm glad that Joyce intervened because I really wanted to ask Joyce and Louise, when you guys are producers and you want to back up a project, what draws you to a particular project? Why do you feel like I want to produce, I want to get in and be part of this project? Like what draws you to a project and what drew you to like a family guide to hunting in specific?
Well, I want to give Louis the floor first because I want to give her a voice.
Oh my gosh. I mean, look, Joyce and I, like, I started working with her like last year and I enjoyed it so much. And so she was like, I had this short. and it's this director, it's Zao, like, and the story, and it's in the forest, and I was like, it sounds hard, let's do it. Like I was like, you know what? If it's hard, it's gonna be worth it. And so, to bring it back, like Joyce, tell us, you can tell Jaylan how like our shoot was, like how crazy it was.
I was gonna ask this question, please. I must imagine.
In a word, our shoot was hard. That's the answer. It was a test of like how much strength that we have, like literally our inner strength, and like I hate to use like these platitudes, but we are coal under pressure to like create diamonds. That's what it did. It created diamonds, right? But like again, Zao, like hats off to Zao, like the amount of prep to be out there to shoot, no electricity, no running water, no Wi-Fi, no cell service, no lights, no motorized vehicles. We had to hike everything in, hike everything out. And by the way, when we're hiking out, it was uphill leaving. So, and 12-hour day.
A mile away from base camp, which is another mile away from where like talent was. So
Okay. I can imagine that.
We're doing 5Ks multiple times a day.
Oh, I got my steps in every day. And then some.
Okay.
And then our first day of the shoot had snow. We had snow. It was really crazy.
So all the elements of nature kind of like grouped together to make it even more difficult. Probably this is why it looks so stunning.
Again,
Yeah,
Zao, the DP.
So yeah, what I'd like to know is like, what was the most difficult aspect of doing it? Like, remember a day where it was like, okay, you've had enough. It was testing you, but then we're making art. I'm so happy. Okay, I'll pay the price for the art. Please remind me of a day like this.
Well, I think on the very first day, we checked the weather and it was like going to be clear. It's fine. We're driving up the mountains, and halfway up the mountain, we started to see snow on the ground. We're like, but maybe just the dust. And then we kept driving, and then we saw a honey wagon stranded on the side of the road, no truck. It's a trailer. It's like a four-room trailer for the actors. And we thought, who would be dumb enough to pull up an actor's trailer up on the mountain to try to shoot a film? Oh, wait a minute, that's ours. Yeah, and then we got to the location, the river bank. The river was rushing, and we had to cross the creek, and there's snow on the ground. We had leaf blowers to create the wind effect, but we used a leaf blower to blow the snow off the ground. So that was really the first day, even before we start doing the first shot. I feel like after that, it was just a walk in the park. Like bring it on. We could do anything. Everybody just kind of like suddenly just like, we got to be at the top of our game. Joyce and Louis organized everything in the dark. It was before sunrise. And so after that, we're like, okay, we got this.
It's funny because when you only get perspective when other people give you perspective, because I asked my husband, because he was there, he PAs for me. He's like the world's best producer's assistant because he knows me in and out. But he was there for a couple of days, and I asked him, I was like, do you remember what that shoot was like? He was like, yeah, I remember you coming home and lying down on the ground in the living room and falling asleep. He's like, I remember that. And I remember at some points I would wake up and you would say, I'm so tired, I want to cry. He's like, that was your shoot.
But also I want to say, like, it is really like a team effort, and it's a real collaboration. Our crew were the happiest crew. Like they were having a rough time, but we made sure like Joyce, Zao, like everyone on the team was like, okay, what do you guys need? Do you have water? Is there like hot hands here? Like we had a heating tent for the actors. We tried to make it as comfortable as we could because we already knew it was going to be hard. But everyone was just like, I remember one of the crew members saying, for a shoot like this, surprisingly, everyone's in a good mood. so like, I was like, okay, that's the best compliment ever. So yeah.
Okay, I want to ask like Val more questions, but now a lot of things are coming to mind because I met a lot of female filmmakers and producers. I am so happy that I have two like amazing female producers on this project, which brings me to the idea that when we have more women in power and saying, giving decisions, we get a lot of diversity, we get a lot of variation. Every single film I've seen, either produced by a woman or directed by a woman, was different, completely different from the other. So I want to ask you both, like, what do you think? We need more empowerment. We need more female voices in the industry. Like, what do you think from your experience can be made so that we just get it on and get more and listen to women and have women backing up these projects? Because usually they pick the best projects. I tell you, I haven't seen a single project that was like same or you could feel redundancy in thoughts or ideas.
Let me. I'll say this first. I have a theory. I think if women were in charge of everything, the world will be a better place. And I seriously believe that. I guess I come from a family of strong women. I always look up to my mother, who's the strongest woman I know. And so, maybe because of that, and I have a daughter. So I feel like, my partner is such a strong a collaborator. And so I work better with women. I feel like, and especially, I was lucky enough to met Joyce through a mutual friend, and Joyce brought on Louis. So, they just kept this impossible set running smoothly. Stretched out 2 miles.
I think what it comes down to, as for me, I have as a woman producer, right? We're always dealing with imposter syndrome and feeling like a couple things. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve to be here. Even if I do deserve to be here and I've overproven myself, I still don't deserve to be here. I have to fight for the seat at the table. I have to interrupt. Here's the thing. We're so polite and we're so conscious of the relationship that we don't interrupt. And yet that is not the communication pattern that gets you power, right? So there's the elements of like really recognizing, like, I have to very uncomfortably interrupt. I have to very uncomfortably speak my mind. I have something I call the bitch switch. So I have a whole like suite of tools, right? And Louis has literally heard me say this. I'm like, I think I need to pull the bitch switch right now. I'm going to be the one they don't like. And I am okay with that. You don't have to like me. You just have to respect me, right? And that's the one thing I realized is letting go of being liked, which is for me to uplift other female filmmakers. It's like literally mentoring them and saying, go be bad. And if you can't be bad, I will be bad for you. And I'm okay being the bitch so that you can get stuff done. Because it is such a weird place to be as a woman with all the gender bias that exists in this industry that is so unconscious. Like, pointing out to people, like, I literally got mansplained today about a company that I work at, and somebody who doesn't work for my company mansplaining me. And I was like, okay, you're wrong. How do I say this politely? But also, do I bruise your ego? Yeah, I'm sorry, your fragile male ego. I think you can take the hit. Like those, like being very measured about it, but then going on set and then creating a space of safety, right? And like saying, like, I have a very strong philosophy about how I approach a set. It's about creating a family and giving everybody a voice and making sure everyone's heard. I know I keep talking. I'm taking a lot of space right now.
No. I love this conversation. Seriously. Can't wait for Louise too, but seriously,
I want to hear from Louise. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, like,
no, take your space. Take your seat at the table, guys.
yes, do it. I can't have imagined a greater interview because seriously, all the things that are being said, I feel like I want to like learn more and more and more. And what you just mentioned, Joyce, the safety of the environment for the actors, for the crew. Also, because some of the scenes are intense. This is a comedy, but still, like, you have some really intense scenes where actors have to give their all. How did you ensure like that all the actors can be vulnerable and can give it all and kind of like have a bare skin, but at the same time they're protected and they feel safe, and the trust relationship that they build either with, of course, the director and the producers?
I mean, I can speak from the producing side of it, and then I'd love to hear how Zao, created that space from the directing side. But for us as producers, Louis, do you want to speak about the intimacy coordinator and our stunt performers and stunt coordinator?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we made sure that Zao met with the intimacy coordinator and like all the actors felt comfortable, and we wouldn't like Joyce and I were always like, we want to push it but let's make sure that the actors feel safe. So the intimacy coordinator is there. We had a stunt coordinator. We also had like some stunt doubles who were like amazing. So, you know, whatever the actors were comfortable doing, like that's what they did. And they actually were like, Kayun, oh my God, she's the best. She just is like, I'll do it. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do. So that's the kind of actor she is. She will go the extra mile. And sometimes me and Joyce have to like pull her back and be like, hold on, you're
You
not
don't have to
doing
go there.
it.
You don't have to do that.
Like
Yeah.
we
Big girl.
don't want you to do it. Like literally. I mean, that's why she's an amazing actor, you know, and she's having so much success right now.
She has big hairy balls. I'm gonna say that about Kayun.
She's a woman with balls. Chick
Yes.
with a dick. Sorry, can we say that?
Okay. So Zao, okay, as a director, what is your point of view? Like, how do you ensure the safety for the creativity to flow? I think because the safer the set, the more trust actors feel, the more creative they will get, and they will just do anything, unleash it all, just like Louise said.
Right. You know, coming from an acting background, I know how important it is for the director to build this, to, you know, have the trust with the cast, and especially for this story, it's about a family. So we have to ensure that they all feel safe, and so that they can connect with each other in a very short amount of time during prep, and then once they're on set in that harsh, challenging environment, they can still find that connection while as the base layer, while doing all the characters and the scenes demand them to do. So, you know, I've always you know, I would, this is what I would do with all projects, and you know, especially for this one. You know, I would speak to them in private, you know, after they were cast. You know, have conversations about you know, safety, about you know, I'm here to collaborate. I'm a big collaborator. I rely on my cast to bring the characters to life, and I make sure I tell them that we're willing to try anything, whatever it is you feel you have the agency. So you own the character. So you try these things, and if there's a take that you want to do, there's one more take you want to do, or losing light, but you want to do one more take, I will always give it to you, because that is going to give them the feeling that, oh, I'm partaking in this process. I am a co-creator, and that's why I want my actors to feel. And you know, and then the second step is trying to bring them together for rehearsal. As you know, it's so hard to find rehearsal time even for a feature, but they were so generous and open, especially Margaret, to give us that time. So we brought them all together, and you know, Kayun was actually in South Korea in the middle of the night. She actually like dialed in on Zoom. You know, Joyce was holding the laptop with Margaret and Khan and Craig in the room, you know, rehearsing, and we actually improv a scene from the story that's actually not the script, not part of the script, but it's the scene that happened before we came into the film, and come face to face with everyone, actually improving that scene, knowing who the characters are. They really bonded, and I think that really made a huge difference, you know, so that they know how to connect with each other as a family. So by the time we got on set, you know, the trust was already there, right? The you know, the foundation of it is already there. But also, you know, how well is the set run, right? So the producers really made sure that it's run smoothly with respect, and it's a safe space with stunt coordinator and intimacy coordinators. And when you have that environment, I think the actors can just tell. They can tell that everybody is talking to each other nicely, in a professional way, and the director's prepared. Every department is prepared. Then they can just play. They feel safe to play. They feel safe to be vulnerable, to try things. So I think that, and you know, I was even shocked at how physical everybody got, how physical they're willing to go. You know, Margaret and Condor crawling on the forest floor, just, you know, with rocks, and we just, my gosh, I was blown away by their dedication.
I asked Margaret, so we talked about they have all this makeup on their face to look dirty, but they actually got dirty too, right? And I asked Margaret, she told me after the first day, I was like, because she has beautiful skin. I don't know, but she's like beautiful skin, right? She's glowing.
Wow.
And I was like, how did you get all that stuff off? She's like, I had to shower twice. After the first day, she's like, I showered twice. He's like, and after this, I'm gonna go get a hydrofacial. And I'm like, can I pay for that for you? Thank you.
Yeah.
And you can tell about their dedication. It shows because everything is beautiful and just flows naturally so much in all of the scenes. So, okay, before I go, I want to ask you because we asked about the most difficult scenes, but there are scenes where you, as a director, and maybe you guys as producers, you realize we're making cinema. Like the day is going as usual, but then a scene comes and you're in awe. Even it kind of like surpassed your initial expectation, or something just clicked, happened, and this is the magic. So I want to ask Zao and then Louis and Joyce if you guys had this experience.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you can never forget your first shot, and the first shot was mom and dad coming out of the woods, the pretty much not the first shot, but like the second shot, right? And the camera is moving laterally behind a tree. You have trees in the foreground. They're walking, bickering, talking about their daughters, and then the surprise of the boyfriend showing up from behind the tree. That it felt right away that these people have been married for 20 years, and the boyfriend's been dating the daughter for a couple of years. All the stories just you could just feel it because the energy was just right, and with a camera movement and the coordination of when the next when Peter pops up, and so all of that just felt right. And that was right after we used leaf blowers to blow the snow off the ground. So that was also just from a creative point, knowing that okay, we got this. This is we've kind of, this is the rhythm we could always lean into.
Wow. Okay, so Louis and Joyce, what is your experience? Like these magical, emotionally, like thriving scenes, like you feel rewarding after watching the scene, like while we're creating
Oh,
something.
yeah. No, like so many. But one of them that stands out for me was when the family were like fighting. And then Kyan was like, Mom, you're crazy. And she kept on doing it. And like we were going take after take after take. And every single take still gave me goosebumps. I remember that moment because I was like, holy. I don't know. What can I say that? Can I say it? Like, but it was like so good that like I was like, wow, she can just like bring it. And then she snaps out of it like it was nothing. Like she was not even like all the way that deep. So yeah, that was mine. Joyce?
Okay, I'm getting a little choked up. I haven't told anybody the story. I'm gonna get a little choked up. So there was a lunch, I think it was the second day, and I sent everybody off to lunch because they have to walk back to base camp. They have to hike back for lunch. And somebody had to do fire watch, right? And I didn't want everybody worked so hard. I didn't want anyone to stay behind and so I was like, everybody go. I will do fire watch. And it was like we're on the other side of the creek. It was freezing. But there was like the sky had opened up and the sun was coming down. And I was exhausted because just the whole process of like development, table read, casting, fundraising, pre-production, all of it, permits, trucks, everything. I laid down on the grass and I just sat there and I let the sun hit my face. And I was like, holy SHIT. Oh my God, we are here. Wow. Oh, SHIT. We're making this movie. And like, I was like, Margaret Cho is back at base camp getting lunch in her trailer. Like Kong is here, Kayun, they have so much chemistry. Everybody is like happy to be here. And I'm like, making an effing movie. And I was like so grateful. And so I started like seeing their performances, obviously, but just the fact that we all came together as a family and we're doing it and we're making art. And for someone like me, who this is a third career, I went back to film school in my 40s, you know,
This
and
is
just like,
inspirational for me,
you know,
really.
thank you. But just
Because
like,
personally, seriously, personally, because I started like I was in this gaslighting relationship and it kind of cut short my film criticism career.
oh
And I
no.
started again when I was 35, and my sister was the one who told me, no, you're not going to kill your whole life because you screwed in your 20s. You can do it. You can start again. And now I'm here watching you amazing people creating art and talking to you. And I have a short film that is supposed to be in film festivals, and I am back on track, and I didn't let that define me. So thank you. You just inspired me with your amazing story and with your amazing presence. I feel like I'm an artistic person now, and even
No,
better
you're
with your
inspiring.
Yes,
You're
yes.
inspiring, Jaylan. Like
That's
I'm so
beautiful.
inspired by your story. I love it.
Thank you so much, all,
That's
and just
beautiful, Jelly.
thank you, Joyce, for being amazing and for opening your heart to me. Thank you, Zao. Thank you, Louise. Seriously, this was the best. I'm so happy, and I can't wait for the world to watch Family Guy behind things.
Thank you
Oh,
so much,
thank
Jelly.
you. Thank
Thank
you
you
Thank
so
you.
so
much.
Really
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.